Hey, we're back. Welcome to another show of Light It Up Live. I'm your host, John, and I don't do it alone. I got my boy
Yeah.
Josh with me.
What's
What's
happening?
up, man? How you doing? How you doing? I'm
I'm good. I'm
excited about
good.
today's show, Josh. You know what this weekend is, right? You know what Monday is?
Yeah. Good Memorial Day weekend, right?
This is Memorial Day weekend, my brother. So what
Yeah.
today's show is all about is the soldiers that have fallen, my brother. Today, what we're going to be doing, it's episode 6. The
Right. That's
story
right.
behind the sacrifice, uncovering the lives that shaped our freedom. Man, I'm excited about it. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be sharing some stories of some people that we looked up. Or man, Josh has got one personally from his family that he's going to be doing about one of our fallen soldiers. And the one I'm doing it on is it's an incredible story, and I'm doing it on. I'll save it for when we get into that though. So what's up, man? How's your Memorial Day weekend going, Mr. Josh?
So good. It's good so far, man. You know what I'm saying? Go do some grilling tomorrow or something. I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't know. I got to hang up my flag. I got a new flag,
right.
you know. But yeah, you're gonna do that story we were talking about earlier, right?
Absolutely.
All right. That's the one I wanted to hear.
Absolutely, man. We got a good show for you today, guys. Like I said, it's Memorial Day weekend, so we had to do something for the people that sacrificed for our freedom. And the story I'm going to be doing on it's an incredible story. There's movies about them, there's books about them, and it's a great story. Josh is actually doing one on his grandfather. His
Yeah.
grandfather served, and so he's going to be doing a story on his grandfather. But as always, we like to explain where Lighted Up Live came from, where the name came from, and that's Genesis 1:3. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God saw that the light was good, and He separated the light from the darkness. Come on, man. That's what we're all about. We're trying to bring a little bit of light to a dark world. That's what Lighted Up Live is all about. Our boy Impact couldn't join us today, so he won't be joining us. It'll just be me and my boy riding it out. But I think we got it, man. What you
I
think,
think we can
Josh? You
handle
ready?
it.
I
Yeah,
think
I
we
think
can
we can
handle it.
handle. Yeah, a little 30-minute show ain't nothing, you know what I'm saying? Just a shout out to the people that we love and we lost, and you know what I mean? It's gonna be
Yeah,
easy.
yes, sir,
Easy.
man. Yeah. Again, this is the show is all about the soldiers that we have lost, and we're going to do some great stories. The story behind the sacrifice, episode 6, uncovering the lives that shaped our freedom. And to get going here, man, we got a segment here that I absolutely love, and it's called Josh's Spotlight.
Gave me a
I
banner,
love
huh?
the name, boy.
Yeah, you like Josh's
Love the.
spotlight.
I do. I like the name, Josh's Spotlight.
Okay.
And so, Josh, what's Josh's Spotlight about today, brother? I'm
Well, I,
assuming it's going to be about Memorial Day, right?
it's pretty much gonna be Memorial Day based, you know what I mean? So I just want to give a quick history of Memorial Day. You know what I'm saying? It was founded in 1868 by Edmund Whitman, Lieutenant Colonel Edmund Whitman. Memorial Day is a federal holiday. It's held last Monday in May. It's the foremost annual holiday to mourn and honor the deceased servicemen and women of our country. It's one of those days like I've accidentally told a person that was a veteran that was alive, Happy Memorial Day, and he's like, no, no, that's Veterans Day. This is Memorial Day.
Yeah.
So
I'm
yeah,
glad you said that, man. Yeah.
yeah. So
Because
I
I'm,
try
I'm
not to
sure
make
we've all been guilty of it.
yeah, because we're just trying to be respectful. But sometimes some people are like, hey, and but it's originally called Decoration Day when it was first formed in
Okay.
1868. Yeah, and the proclamation pretty much calls on all Americans to observe Memorial Day by praying according to their, and it actually says according to their individual and religious faiths for permanent peace. So it didn't matter who you loved, just pray to that person on today, on the day that we remember the people that gave us our freedoms to be here, just to do a podcast or do whatever. So yeah, that's pretty much my spotlight on it, man. You know what I'm saying? It's been celebrated for
Absolutely.
a long time, and I guess this year it's our 250th anniversary of America's 250 years. So they're wanting to celebrate the whole year, starting Memorial Day all the way till Memorial Day of next year. They want to see fireworks and flags and everything as much as possible this year on this great Memorial Day. So yeah, that was my spotlight, man.
Awesome. Awesome.
Thank you.
Josh's
All right.
Spotlight. We need to like come up with some like theme music. Josh's Spotlight.
Yeah. Just a little backwards scratch for me, and that's
Yeah.
it, you know. Yeah.
Josh's
Yeah.
Spotlight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Episode 6 is what we're on, guys. Remember to go check our YouTube channel out. Hit that subscribe button for us. Help us get the message out. You go to YouTube, you put in the search bar at all one word, all lowercase, Light It Up Live, and you'll find us. Every episode that we do gets put over there tomorrow. I say tomorrow, but I put it on late tonight for people that want to check it out tonight. So it'll be on there tomorrow. Again, we could you guys over on Facebook, we can see your comments. So if you want to comment and you want to interact with the show, you can comment and we'll interact with you a little bit. But I think we're going to get into about the person that I wanted to honor today, Josh. And that is, have you ever heard of a soldier called Desmond Doss?
I believe so. Yeah, you're
There's
talking
a
about
there's
the
a
one that
there's a
didn't fire a
famous
weapon.
movie.
Yeah.
Yep, famous
What was
movie about him, Hacksaw Ridge.
okay? Oh yes,
Hacksaw
yes.
Ridge.
All right.
Man, this guy is a true testament of believing in his faith, and it is a true story of how if you listen to God's direction, He will take care of you, man. This story is absolutely unbelievable, man. When I first watched that movie, I started reading more and more on Desmond Doss, and watching a lot of videos and reading a lot of articles on him. And man, it's just such an inspirational story for believers. It's an inspirational story for this country. It's an inspirational story for this man, Desmond Doss. And man, it's unbelievable. So let's get into it. Let's start talking about Mr. Desmond Doss. That's who I'm doing it on today, man, is
Okay.
Desmond Doss. But before, I got a video that I'm going to be playing. But I want to say a little something before the video. But the video, I actually pulled it from the Congressional Medal of Honor Society. That's where I pulled this video from. So I want to give them the credits for this video. But it's a wonderful video, and you're going to get to see Mr. Doss speaking in the video, Josh. You know, but
Okay.
he might sometimes it's a little hard to understand but you got to understand what this man has been through. You're about to, and you
Yeah.
know and in this video he was in his 80s, and so it's absolutely incredible what he went through, that he actually lived to be that long. On April 1st, 1942, Desmond Doss joined the United States Army. Little did he realize that 3.5 years later, he would be standing on the White House lawn, receiving the nation's highest award for his bravery and courage under fire. Of the 16 million men in uniform during World War II, only 431 received the Congressional Medal of Honor. One of these placed around the neck of a young Seventh-day Adventist who during combat had not killed a single enemy soldier. In fact, he refused to carry a gun. His only weapons were his Bible and his faith in God.
Let's go.
My dad bought this Ten Commandments in Lois Pratt Illustrated on a nice frame. And I had looked at that picture of 6th commandment, thou shalt not kill. There's a picture had Cain had killed his brother Abel. Now, what how in the world could a brother do such a thing? I've pictured Christ saving life I want to be like Christ. I was saving life instead of taking life. And that's the reason I take up medicine.
Desmond Doss was drafted into the Army in April 1942. He wanted to serve his country, but electing not to bear arms, the Virginia native instead joined the Army Medical Corps. Assigned to the U.S. invasion of Okinawa, where deeply entrenched Japanese forces hammered American troops from caves and tunnels, Doss and his battalion were ordered to assault a jagged 400-foot escarpment overrun with Japanese defenders.
Japanese had been there for years. They had that mountain with honeycomb and camouflage, looked like natural terrain. And that's what we had to face. So I remember 8 or 9 of those Japanese positions we destroyed before we contacted A Company. And when the day was done, I didn't have a single man killed. The next day, we thought the big job was done, but instead, everything we was trying this day went wrong. We threw all types of high explosive demolition on this Japanese position. We decided it was only one thing left to do. We had 35 gallons of high-octane gasoline and 5-gallon Army water cans. 2 men got all those, opened the can, lit up. 2 of them literally threw it over the bank. The ammunition dump must have gone off. That whole mountain just seemed to quit. You can take anything and be able to slide it. But to our surprise, out came these Japanese from both sides for us.
Showering Doss's battalion with artillery, mortar, and machine gun fire, the Japanese drove the majority of the group back down the face of the escarpment. But dozens of casualties were still left behind.
I had these men up there, and I shouldn't leave them. They were my buddies. Some of my men were families, and they trust me. I didn't feel like I should value my life above my buddies. And so I decided to stay with them and take care of as many of them as I could. I didn't know how I was going to do it.
Doss remained to tend the wounded, dragging them to the cliff's edge and attempting to lower them down the escarpment.
But I didn't have enough rope to do the job like it should be done. Then the Lord brought to my mind that knot I learned in West Virginia I'd never seen or heard of before.
Relying on his childhood experience rescuing flood victims, Doss fashioned a special sling that enabled him to lower the men one by one to safety.
So I just kept praying, Lord, please help me get one more, until there was none left. And I was the last one down.
By nightfall, he had managed to rescue 75 fallen comrades.
There's 15 of us got to
75.
that day. When my
That's
time
incredible.
came, I went up. President Truman
Single-handedly.
came out, and he stepped over the line and caught me by my hand and shook my hand like an old-time friend, somebody been knowing all his life. He didn't even give me a chance to get nervous. When you get explosives and burst so close,
How cool,
I
huh?
could feel it
Heck yeah.
and not get wounded up there when I should have been killed a number of times. I know who I owe my life to as well as my men. That's why I like to tell this story to the glory of God, because I know from a human standpoint I should not be here.
Praise God.
You can't always win.
Amen.
But when your buddies come to you and say they owe their life to me, what better reward can you get than that?
You just can't.
Wow.
Goodness.
Come on,
Well,
dude.
getting pinned in the front, man, getting the medal in the front, that's honorable.
Unbelievable, man. Yeah, he actually was getting bullied. He didn't talk about it there, but he was actually getting bullied from his other army men because he wouldn't pick up a gun. At the beginning, they was bullying him, and there was even a comment said to him that, "Don't worry, I'll get you on the battlefield." They were threatening him that his own brothers were going to kill him on the battlefield. But then they kind of started warming up to Doss because as a medic, he had a technique that he was able to help get rid of their blisters from the boots that they was wearing from the marching. So they started warming up to Doss. And also what he didn't mention, that was President Truman. The comment President Truman said to him was, I'm proud of you. You really deserve this. I consider this a greater honor than being president. Now check it out. This here is the 400-foot cliff. That soldier that you see at the bottom, he's not standing on the ground. He's on the side of that cliff. That's Desmond Doss at the top. That's him at the top of that cliff. That knot that he did, he learned that knot back in, I think it's Virginia. He's a Virginian. Could be Western or Virginia. I'm not quite sure, but I know he's a Virginian. But he learned that knot then, and he said God put it on his heart at the last minute because he was struggling trying to get him down to do this certain kind of knot. There's video of him later in life, and it shows the knot, and it was like 2 loops and then another, like some kind of other loop up on their upper chest that he did, and he lowered them down 400 feet, 75 men down that 400-foot cliff by himself, single-handedly lowered them down. The soldiers say it was like 100. He said he was being Doss and saying, no, it was like 50, so they cut the difference and they put it at 75 for the story. This here's a picture. Yeah, like you said, from the front, dude. Pen from the front. This is President Truman giving him his Congressional Medal of Honor. That was on the front lawn of the White House. Unbelievable. Now, what a man. Before being discharged from the Army in 1946, Desmond developed tuberculosis. He would spend most of the next 6 years in hospitals, cold, wet, and sleepless nights shivering in muddy foxhole on the islands of the Pacific had taken their toll. As the illness progressed, his left lung had to be surgically removed along with 5 ribs. For the rest of his life, he survived on a single lung until it too failed. At the age of 87, Corporal Desmond Thomas Doss died on March 23, 2006, after being hospitalized with a difficulty breathing. He's buried in the National Cemetery at Chattanooga, Tennessee. Today, on Memorial Day weekend, Josh, we honor Desmond T. Doss.
Yes.
Wow.
That was a good man.
What a story, huh?
Yeah.
You know, he said that he said that he wanted to help the country, but he was a Seventh-day Adventist, and he really believed in what the Sixth Amendment, Josh. Yeah, he really believed in that Sixth Amendment, "Thou shalt not kill." But he decided to be a medic, and he did it, man. He didn't have to kill nobody. He wanted to help, but he wanted to help people live during the war. He wanted to help people survive. We wanted to help people stay alive, and instead of killing people. And he did it. You know, they was actually supposed to, what's it called? Let me find the word. Conscientious objector. You can look that up. I can't explain the whole definition, but it basically means that because of his faith, his religion, that he don't have to carry a weapon. And he was assigned as a conscientious objector, and at that time it was kind of unheard of. But they were supposed to put him to medic immediately. But they messed up. And they put him in as a rifleman. which would require him to carry a weapon, but he refused. He refused to do it, man, and God was on him. God was with him there, dude. I don't know if you heard what he said, but he said
What's
every
that?
single time that he would save somebody, he would say, "Lord, please help me get one more."
Heck
And
yeah.
he would go get one more. And
Yeah.
then he would lower him down a 400-foot cliff, and then he would say, "Lord, please let me get one more."
Heck
And
yeah.
he would go get another. Now, this is why he said the gunshots were so close he could hear them whizzing by. He said he was so close to the enemy line, they was sitting in a mortar hole, he could hear the enemy whispering.
Huh.
That's how close that he was. So
Yeah.
today it was an
Definitely
absolute
going.
honor. Oh man, there's a movie about him. A lot of it they said is really spot on. And I think who is it? Mel Gibson that directed it, Josh, or who did it?
I
Hacksaw
believe
Ridge.
so.
Yeah, but yeah, there's a really good movie on. They say that it's pretty spot on, man, and it's an incredible story. So today, man, it was an absolute honor for me to put that story to tell that story of Desmond Thomas Doss. It was an absolute honor for me to do it.
Uh, yeah, you're right.
Desmond Doss.
It was Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson did it in
Yeah,
2004.
I thought
Yep.
so. Yeah.
Yeah. Mel Gibson makes all the best movies.
All right, there, Mr. Josh. What you got for us, man? Who you giving honor to today? Putting the
W- Well, mine's going to go to my grandfather. You know what I mean? He's my dad's
incredible.
dad, and he's his name is James Carpenter. He was a staff sergeant, U.S. Army from September 1944 to I think it's November 1946. He was one of the soldiers that was on the Okinawa invasion. He stormed the beach of Okinawa, and when he was there, he uh, he got injured. He got injured by shrapnel, and I didn't know this growing up because I've always seen him with his shirt on. You know what I mean? He was never somebody that wouldn't wear anything. We went to Myrtle Beach one year for a vacation. Me and my grandmother here. This is my grandma, and he had his shirt off, and I noticed his back was really torn up. And I asked my grandma, I was like, "What happened?" And she said, "Well, he got hurt, and instead of after he left the infant, you know what I'm saying, after the medical team patched him up, they were going to send him back home to me. But he was like, absolutely not. I need to go back with my friends because they need me. And he went back and said he'd never regret. He never talked to me about the war or anything that he did during the war. Um, one of his birthdays, because he was proud. He was born on the 4th of July, so he always made a big deal about that. And I bought him a DVD player, and I bought him Saving Private Ryan. And I guess halfway through the movie, he had pulled the disc out and broke it. And my grandmother said he really loves his gift. He loves his DVD player, but he honestly did not like the movie. And I mean, I can't blame him. You know, they gave a lot. You know what I mean? He was a very humble man. Like I'd never even seen him angry. But that's my hero. And every Memorial Day and every 4th of July, I love my country and I always think of America. But I always think of him because that was his birthday. So that's pretty much my shout out is to Mr. James Carpenter, Company E, 370 Infantry Division, Staff
Amazing.
Sergeant. Staff Sergeant, yeah, he
Incredible.
was a big guy. So
Yeah. That's your
yeah,
grandpa, man.
yeah,
That's exciting, dude.
yeah, I love it. I love it.
Man, I tell you, I keep going back to thinking about how God saved Mr. Doss on that field, man, and helped him save all those people, dude. And he just, and all he had was a Bible in his pocket. He just had a Bible in his pocket. That's all he had. He had no weapons. He never picked a weapon up the entire time, not for training, not for nothing. Man, oh man, if that don't show you the power of God, Josh, I don't know what better example you can have, my brother.
Yeah. Well, there was another story, and I forget the guy that was involved in the story, but he during the war was helping a lot of Jewish kids escape. You know what I mean? And then later on, here in America, all these kids escaped to America, and he got invited to a movie theater. And at this movie theater, it was all the children that were there. And the guy started talking out up front about, hey, we'd like to give an honor to this guy, and not realizing that all the people in the audience with him was all these kids he saved. I don't remember that story. I don't remember the name of it. Man, it was good. I'll have to look it up. I'll put a note in the comments later on it in case anybody wants to look at it. Yeah. But Memorial Day is good. You know what I mean? What are you planning on doing? Are you off Monday? I hope so.
Yeah. I'm off Monday. I go back Tuesday.
That's what's up. Tuesday is a good day to go back.
As you know, I go back Tuesday, and my brother Josh actually helped get me a job. So God bless you, my brother, for helping me do that.
We just trucking along, baby. Yeah, because the 3-day weekend is really good stuff for me. You know what I mean? Because it feels like the 2-day just goes by, especially if it's a holiday weekend like this, which I'd rather be at this. We get paid for our Memorial Day too, which I think it's strange, but it is what it is. I'm not going to argue.
It's a holiday.
Yeah, it's a holiday.
I think it was important, man. Talk about that some more. I think it was important how you said at the beginning that it's important to realize exactly what Memorial Day is.
Yes.
It's
to me, it is. Our generation, for instance, our generation has had a pretty easy life here in America, and everybody past us. You know what I mean? Because of all those brave people. So I think we owe it to ourselves. We owe it to them. We owe it to God just to remember them. I mean, more than just a day. You know what I mean? We should. Anytime you see the flag, you should think of somebody like that. You know what I mean? Somebody that showed a lot more heart than we have. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like at the beginning, how'd you say it? You said because they confused Memorial Day.
Oh.
With what? Independence Day? I forget which holiday. Veterans Day. Veterans Day. That was the one. And man, I think that was spot on because I think I might have been guilty of seeing a soldier and saying, "Hey, Happy Memorial Day, man." You just don't think about it. You know what I mean? But it's right there in the word, Memorial Day.
Yeah, I've had a couple of them been like, "Thanks, man, appreciate it." And it's like, I don't know, because
So I thought that was pretty important. Again, you guys, for just joining us. If you missed the story of the soldiers that we talked about today, tomorrow on our YouTube channel at Light It Up Live, all one word, all lowercase. Hit the @ symbol and put in Light It Up Live. You can find it on the YouTube channel tomorrow. It'll be on the YouTube channel tomorrow. The whole show, you can check it out there. If you want to do a little recap, I can show you guys the people that Mr. Doss that we talked about. Again, Desmond T. Doss, 1919 to 2006. He's got an absolutely amazing story. You guys can go back on the YouTube channel, and for the ones that missed it, and tomorrow, and check out the story of Desmond Doss. I'll actually be putting this episode on there later tonight. And then also we had an incredible story about Josh's grandfather. Man, Josh's grandfather actually served too, and that's why he did one on his grandfather. I really didn't have nobody in my family that served, but my grandfather, and I didn't really know him too well because we moved away from him many years ago when I was 1 year old, and I'm something right now. So that was a long time ago, so I don't really know him. But thank you guys so much for joining us today, man. That pretty much wraps our show up. You got any last thoughts about the Memorial Day weekend, my brother?
No last thoughts, except for I'm glad I'm here to celebrate it. I'm glad I'm here for another one. So and I'd like to thank people that came in. Charles, it's good to see you. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for coming for the live. I know we don't got too many people watching, but it's good stuff.
We had let's see, we had my mom, we had Rosemary, we had Lori, we had Pastor Judah, we had your buddy. We've had some people sitting in there.
Buddy.
Charles, we got some people in there. Yeah, good. Man.
Good. Yes, thanks.
So man, absolutely. I want to thank all the people that are serving on this Memorial Day as well. But more importantly, we want to thank the families of the people that have lost veterans and fighting for our freedom in this war, because do you know the saying, freedom ain't free? That is absolutely true. And there's a lot of people that shed their blood and lost their lives so that we can do things like we're doing right now, and we can eat what we want to eat, and we can watch what we want to watch, and we can do what we want to do. And that's for the people that sacrifice their lives for the
Yep.
freedom of this country. And so Memorial Day weekend, it's very important. I'm glad we was able to come on here and give a little spotlight to some of those people that have fallen for our soldiers. So I think that's about it, my brother.
Yeah, I think
Think
so.
we're gonna think we're gonna get on out of here, man. You guys remember to catch us next week, 7:30 p.m. next Saturday night. We'll be doing this thing again. Remember to go check the YouTube channel out. The @ symbol, Light It Up Live, all lowercase letters, at Light It Up Live on the YouTube channel. We're every Saturday night at 7:30 p.m. We're live streaming on Facebook. We're live streaming on TikTok simultaneously. My name is Josh. That's my boy Josh. And as always, remember, your rope's longer than you think. God's rope has no end. And hold on tight.
No, it don't. Thanks for coming, y'all. All right.